as we come in. But just general online kind of procedures will be greatly received. So I'm just going to start, and we'll make a bit recording, and we'll get started. Brilliant. Okay, guys, welcome to a club forum for the 19th of July. This evening, hopefully, we can give you a bit of an update. Obviously, we've just landed in terms of Freedom Day here in the UK, which obviously changes the perception of football a little bit. So there might be some questions around that towards the end, but we'll update you a little bit further on. Tonight, we're joined with some special guests from Joymo, who are our live stream partners for the County Cup. So Neil and Toril are on the line. They'll introduce themselves in just a second. So they're going to give you a presentation regarding their product and the offers that are exclusively available to not so FA clubs, and also maybe a little bit about our partnership, and then obviously opportunity to answer a couple of questions. And then we'll jump straight into our county updates, and then we'll obviously open the floor down to questions and anything else that you've got. Please, if there's anything county related that you want to raise, so player reg, whole game system affiliation, we will probably more than likely cover that in the county FA updates. So please hold those questions until those points. And if there is anything else, then please raise them in any other business. And then, as usual, after these forums, we'll stay online for another 10-15 minutes, or however long people want to stay on for a catch up or answer any other queries that you don't want to raise on the formalised call. So brilliant. Thanks very much. So Neil and Toril, it's all over to you. All right. I'll stop sharing my screen and you can share yours.
Neil, I think you're still on mute.
Yeah.
So you should unmute.
There we are. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
We just need your screen sharing again.
That's it. Right. Good evening, folks. My name's Neil Mosley. I'm a strategic partnership manager for Joymo in the UK. My colleague Toril is also on the call here, and she's based in Oslo at HQ, and she's the head of the customer support team. So she'll make it all happen when she's seen what to do with Joymo. So what we're going to do, I'm going to run you through some how Joymo works, what we are, what we do, how we work with football teams in the UK, and then at any point through the query, note down your questions, and we can answer them all at the end. And either myself or Toril will have the nous or the expertise to be able to do that at the end. So, is everyone seeing this okay? Yes.
No.
Right. Sorry. No.
No, I think you stopped sharing.
Yeah.
It stopped sharing. Why is that then?
We had it for a second and then it disappeared.
Screen share. Screen share. 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 Now we're seeing it.
Yeah.
Yes, we are now seeing it. That's strange. There we are. So everyone can see this. So what Joymo is about, and Toril, feel free to interject at any point, is about streaming your games and selling tickets to people that are interested, your fans, your family, your friends, anyone in and around that wants to see your games. So Joymo is a streaming platform. Now, there's lots of things in football in the UK where you can have, where your content can be viewed and videoed and all sorts of stuff. But Joymo is a streaming platform. And the beauty of Joymo is we're for every club. So you can be at the very top of the county or at the real grassroots in the county in Nottinghamshire. It's for you. It doesn't matter your age, your ability, where you are in the football pyramid. It literally is a platform for everybody. And it's about broadcasting your content for your fans. Now, your fans might be granny, might be mum and dad, might be your brother, might be your mates, or it could be your fans who follow your team around every week. And it's dead easy. I'm, as you've seen already, not particularly techie, and I can, believe it or not, I can do it. And Joymo enabled you to stream the matches directly to fans. It's also good for coaches, for coaching, for the players, referees, and for scouts. And it's about a movement. And what we talk about all the time in Joymo is about flipping the pyramid and leveling up the playing field. So it's for every team in the county. The beauty is, sometimes it's not possible to be there, and when you want to be, everyone's got pressured lives. We've all got jobs. We've all got things in the family that happen. We've all got away matches that might take place in the other end of the county or in other counties or elsewhere. And what this is about is giving you the opportunity to relive that moment, to make sure it's possible to watch the match whenever you want. So if you can't make the 10:30 on a Sunday morning or 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon or 7 o'clock on a Tuesday, whenever the game is, you can watch the game later as well as live or instead of live, whatever suits you. So you're never missing a moment. The good thing about Joymo as well is for the players, you get your own, every player in your team gets an athlete access pass. And what that is, it's their ability to have free access to watch and rewatch their own performances in the games. Now, I played the game for many years. You can probably tell that was quite some time ago. And I've got no access to any of the footage of any of my goals, my performances, my cup finals, any of that. I've not got any of it. What every athlete can have now, every player in the county can have now is a catalogue of all their games. So we've got lots of teams around and about they've already, since football started again post-COVID, they've already got a nice little catalogue of all their games backed up in a accessible platform that they can rewatch them, they can relive the goals, they can analyse the tactics, the wins, the defeats, the formations, the fouls, they can do it all. So that athlete access is part of the feature of the platform, and it's a really neat thing that I really wish I'd had as a player. But it's great that my son's team can do it, and lots of other people can do it. So how's it work? It's dead easy. You stream your games, you sell tickets for a small amount of money, either pay-per-view, pay-per-tournament, or pay-per-season. So you can either have it on a one-off game, so you can do it for home games, away games. If you've got a five-a-side tournament or a summer tournament that you've got, you might want to do it for a weekend tournament pass. Or you've got a big fan, and they know they're going to want to watch every game, so you can do pay-per-season. So there's a price point for everybody that wants to view it. And the pay-per-view, we're talking about $3.99 as a sort of standard price. So it's not a lot of money to watch the game. So if you give me a choice do I want to go and watch my lads' team on a Sunday morning, or do I want to sit indoors and read the paper and not stand in the wind and the rain, I'll pay the £4 and watch his game. So. The beauty is as well, you can generate revenue from sponsorships. So a lot of teams in the county, a lot of you will have your own sponsors on your shirts. You'll have your own local partnerships, be it with the local pub or with the local restaurants or businesses. And those businesses that you've got partnerships with can go onto the Joymo platform as well. So that when I go to watch the game, I could see that you've got a link with the Dog and Duck or the John's Pizza House or whatever it is, and I can watch a pre-reel of that before I watch the video, before I watch the game. And that's a really natty thing to do. So all the income that you take from that sponsorship is yours. We simply just put the thing up there, and it's watched before you watch the footage. And that also could be a message from your chairman, or a message from it could be an introduction to the season. Hello, we are Gedling Rovers or whatever your team is. And this is an introduction to the season. We're playing such and such a team. We're in the county cup, whatever it is. You can put on all sorts of stuff on there. But importantly, you take the income from whatever goes onto that pre-roll. We've got a really good safeguarding platform. So safeguarding of athletes is really important for minors. And Joymo's got a really, really robust and safe and secure platform. There's often been a reluctance to film juniors because of protection of children, and rightly so. With ours, we've got really strong pillars of support where we've got a number of things that prevent issues on this. The first thing is owning the data. You'll know if you take a video of the match and put it onto YouTube or Facebook. As soon as you do that, the data is owned by YouTube or Facebook, and you have no control of it. So if this little lad, I don't know, does something and it's embarrassing, and that goes on Facebook, that can be viral around the world in 5 minutes, and you've no control of it. So for a junior player like this, it can be really damaging. With our platform, There are protections in there, advanced notifications, and a whole range of tools for the game. But importantly as well, you've got people who watch it have to register on your platform to register. So they drop in their email addresses. They also have to put a credit card in. And so you've got double, you've got the paywall, you've got the registration, and you've got the data ownership as well. So if anything does happen and someone's filmed that shouldn't have been, it's a one-click delete, and it's very easy. So the safeguarding officers in many counties have been very impressed with the safeguarding platform that we've got. And importantly, the ownership of the data. So you're taking control of your own asset, your own performance, your own players, your own team, and you're owning the content, which is what this is all about. We're just introducing this thing called Joymo Connect, where you can use your own cameras to video the games. And it's a simple integration tool. And it means instead of using the app, which is what you do at the moment, you can use a camera. And of course, some of the cameras will have better cameras than the cameras on an iPhone or that you'd see on a phone. Before that and now, this is what you do. This is what everyone that uses Joymo Share does at the moment. You download the app, the Joymo Share app, and only the people that are filming the action need the app. So to watch it, you watch it in the same place you'd watch anything else on your phone, on your laptop, on your tablet. So if you're filming the game, this could say Nottinghamshire County Cup. It could say Gedling against Mansfield or whoever it is. You've got the scores, you've got the timer clock, you've got a skin that you're watching the game through. You stick this on a tripod at the side of the pitch on the halfway line. If you've got some height and you've got a stand, great, go up there. If you've not and you're just on a regular parks pitch, no problem. You buy a tripod for a tenner from Amazon, stick this on your tripod, click go live, and that is it. When Gedling score, it's a +1. Mansfield equalise, it's 1-1, whatever the teams are, whatever the scores are. And you send this link to your people, and people can watch this as it happens or later for £3.99. And of that £3.99, once we've had the tax and the cost of the credit card and the other bits, you will get half of that money. So the income that you're getting from the views can go back to the club for more kit or for pitch hire or for an event or a trophies or whatever it is you want to spend the money on. So it's dead easy to do. As I say, the other week I went to a local team and filmed the game, and it was really simple, really inexpensive, and super good. And this is where the platform is. So you get a platform called the Joymo Arena, and this is where you watch the games. So if you've got a game, let's refer back to that other game, that random game I was talking about, Gedling are playing Mansfield. You go to the Joymo Arena, you look it up, you click on, you pay your £3.99, and you watch the game on here. What we can also do now is integrate and embed the streams into the club website. So if Gedling have got their own club website, we can integrate it onto here. The stream is integrated into the website. People come onto here, they link in, they go through the paywall, and they can pay it, and it looks like you're watching, Gedling TV or Mansfield TV or whichever Baseford TV, whatever your team is. So you've got the way of integrating it onto the website, which is fantastic. So it's dead easy to do. It really is. Normally, the subscriptions, we've got 3 different subscriptions for the teams. We've got a starter subscription for £3.99 a month, and you get 1 stream at a time, and you can do all these things. A typical team would use this package, and you'd have 1 stream at a time, up to 20 athlete access passes. Now remember, these are the passes for the players. So you, as the administrator for the club, allocate your players, so you know all the players. You can put some coaches on there as well if you want, and you've got capacity for at least a typical season in a Nottinghamshire league. Normally, that would be £12.99 a month. As part of this deal that we've done with Nottinghamshire County FA, ridiculously, you have got that for free. So you, as the clubs in the county, don't have anything to pay. You don't have any £12.99s, any £3.99s, or any £39.99s to pay for the year. So you've got the whole season as part of this deal to stream using Joymo for free and take the income from the views as a complete benefit, along with your commercial partnerships and your sponsorships for free. If you're a bigger team and you've got lots of teams and they're all playing at the same time, so you might have the first team playing at 10:30 on a Saturday morning, you might have the second team, and you want to do multiple streams, you can have 200 players, 200 users on Athlete Access and ridiculous amounts of capacity. You might want one of the bigger packages, and you can integrate, you can do lots of things at the same time. So if I wanted to watch the first team, the women's team, the vets team, the under 13s team, all at the same time, I could if I wanted to on this package. So there's a package for everyone, and what we do, we bespoke the packages that are suitable for you. But effectively for you in Nottinghamshire, it doesn't matter because you're paying nothing for a year. So you've got, and you can cancel whenever you want. So it really is risk-free, and it's part of the benefit of the package that Mark has negotiated with us. And so all you have to do as part of the partnership, I mentioned Joymo and Nottinghamshire FA, live stream for free for the upcoming season. We've got a code for you when you go on. There's Torril's details on there, and leads a team of super helpful people. And importantly, what we're doing for the county is, well, all of the county cup games we're going to be focusing on as part of this partnership. So Mark and the team will decide on games per round in each of the different county cups, and they will be showcased through the partnership as well. And the teams will have really great opportunities to watch those games if you can't get to the games as well. So it's focused around the county cups, the different levels of county cups, and it's also for every team in the county. So you might want to watch the county cup final because you know X team is playing Y team. You still got the opportunity to do that, but also all of your teams in your club can benefit from this offer just by using this code Stream NFA and creating your own account through the Joymo website, which is joymo.tv. So it might be worth writing that down, the Joymo TV website, joymo.tv, and Toril at Joymo TV, if you've got any questions on that we can answer. So I can't overemphasize how simple it is. Download the app, have a practice stream, give it a go. So pre-season friendlies, we've had a lot of pre-season friendlies this weekend. Ideal for giving it a test. Give it a test and then open it to the public and start selling it and run. And you might think, well, oh, my team in Division 7 of the league, nobody's going to want to watch us. You'd be surprised when you think of all of your mates, your parents, your granny, your friends abroad, your ex-player who's injured, your person who's isolating from COVID, your person who works shifts and can't get to the games. You know, if you think of all that extended family that every club has got, you're soon getting up to 15 and 20 and 30 views for every game at whatever level. In Norway, lots and lots of different sports, lots and lots of different levels. People are used to streaming. In the UK, we've only been in the UK really since the back end of last year. We've already got lots of teams. We've got a partnership like this with Lancashire County FA, and we've had teams like in step 4s and 5s, the likes of Guildford City, and had their FA Vars campaign. They streamed and had lots of views. We've had lots of other teams. We've also got the Royal Air Force and their sports organisations. And we've had lots of universities doing it as well. So we've had Birmingham City University and Aston University, 50 miles away from you in Brum, doing it, and lots of other stuff there. So nice and easy to do, and really simple to set up. So I'm going to stop sharing now and I don't know if Toril, if you've got anything to add to that. But I'm going to stop sharing.
I think not. I mean, we will help anyone with the onboarding. We will give you whatever information you need. If you're comfortable communicating over email, or if you want to have one-on-one calls, we want you to succeed, because that's when we succeed, really. So we want to make this partnership great and hope to see as much as possible on our platform very soon.
And I think that the beauty is, as you know, I said to Mark before the call, every club has got this for the whole season. It's bonkers. It's really, really bonkers. You've got it for free. So the thing I would just suggest is give it a try. If you don't like it, if it doesn't work, then nothing ventured, nothing gained. All you need really to get going is, if you've got a friendly tomorrow night, you can be Joymoing that game tomorrow night. All you need really is somebody who can stand there with a tripod and simply just do that. You can have your tripod from Amazon next day delivery. You can buy them in the I'm sure you can buy them in the Broadmarsh Centre or wherever you go into for your shopping. But it's super easy. And people say, "Oh, I've not got anyone to do it, Neil. I've not got anyone to do it." Well, actually, you just, you know, you can give someone. There's usually a parent, a friend, a family who's going to watch the game anyway. And they've just got to stand there. And as you naturally watch the game, you simply do this with the handle of the tripod. It's super easy and no hassle. Sometimes people will say, actually, if you film the games, you know, you don't have to pay an entry if if you're an admissions team, or you just buy them a couple of pints or a cup of tea and a burger or whatever it is. That's how other teams do it. They buy, you know, the person that films it gets a burger and a cup of tea at half time or something, so, or a pint after the game. So it's dead easy to do. And all you're going to do is make money from it. So, you know, if you think how much your team kit costs for the year from Mitre or Joymo or whoever it was 800, 900 quid. You know, there's no reason if you've got lots of games, lots of teams, you can be getting that back for the season. And so next year's kit can be free, or it can be the trophies for the end of term, you know, end of season event or whatever it is. You know, there's no reason you shouldn't be earning a few £100 back at the end of the season from the games. And people are happy to pay £4. You know, it's you know, £4's what, price of a pint ish. If you're in Slab Square somewhere, it might be cheaper if you're in. I'm looking at Norman there in Gedling, in the Miners' Welfare in Gedling. It's probably a bit cheaper for a pint, but it's not. It's basically the price of a pint, isn't it, for to watch the game? Which it's not an expense for a lot of people. Right, I've rabbited on a lot there. You must have lots of questions. What do you think, folks in teams? What do you think?
Cheers, Neil. Guys, please ask away. Raise any points in terms of whether it's suitable for your clubs. I know some of you do film games. I'm not sure how many of you actually stream them on a different platform.
There must be. And of course, what we're more than happy to do, if you don't want to ask any questions now, it took me a while to get to work out the concept. So, we got a hand up from somebody there.
So, Kev, I presume it's Kev from Tevasul. I've not got the participant list up. Do you come off your mute, Kev? Still there, Kev?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
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 Yeah, excuse me. I do apologise. Yeah, my only concern that I have really is I think it's an absolute brilliant opportunity. I think it's an excellent piece of equipment. My only concern is around the safeguarding aspects, because we've seen, even since COVID, an increase for me of parents videoing and taking photos and putting on Facebook, but haven't gained permission from the opposition and things like that. And unfortunately, we are in a world where we do have children that are protected by a protection order and things like that. And that is my only concern when we're talking about under 18s. And, you know, when we're talking under 18s being involved, they are now actually involved in a lot of first teams at senior level because they're 16 and over. So it's just going, and I know Rachel's on this call. I know as a club, when we put it to all our teams that if a parent is taking a photo using the phone, or grandma or granddad is, that they must get consent from the opposition before they do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we've seen it where we've had teams play at different venues at different times, at different age groups, and we've seen pictures where there's our children on Facebook because grandma's took a photo of little Johnny playing for opposition.
And the beauty of this, Kevin, is this controls and stops all that. You're taking by using Joymo, you are owning the data and controlling all that. So if you as rightly as it sounds like you do, you stop or you try to stop all that stuff going to Facebook or YouTube, by controlling it on Joymo, you've got these inbuilt mechanisms where you've got notification to opposition teams, which you've rightly said has to be done. You've got all sorts of tools that people can download, which will be the sort of safeguarding recommendations that the county safeguarding officer will be wanting to put in place. But the important thing here, Kevin, is that you own this data. So if anything happens and there is, as you say, there's a protected child that inadvertently gets filmed or whatever, you as the club administrator or as the club chairman or whatever you are, Kevin, will have the ability to just go delete and control. And the child, the under 18, even if they're playing, as you say, in senior football, is protected. I went to an Isthmian team's pre-season game on Saturday, and as you say, there were 16, 17-year-olds coming off the bench, getting involved, and the same thing, they were protected. If they wanted to put their hands up and say, well, I don't want it filmed for any reason, no problem, mate. One stop, delete. So what you're doing by taking Joymo and owning the data is you're taking control of that issue away from all of those parents that say, well, actually, so you can say to those parents, don't film it, don't put it on Facebook, don't put it on YouTube. We'll control the data, we can own it, and you can have access to it for a couple of quid. So it's a way of alleviating all those concerns of the parents, Kevin.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
I just think my concern would be is we've seen it with the Euros and things like that. People are sitting next to the telly, maybe watching this, and then video it. Look at little Johnny's just scored a great goal and videoed it off of that, and then that gets put onto Facebook, and we don't then have any control. And that's the bit that concerns me, where if you like, you trust people, but let's be honest, we've all seen it where it happens, where the data is referred, start again, and that's the bit that just concerns me. As I say, I think the product is absolutely superb. I think it's a great opportunity for everybody to make use of this, and certainly, for me, I think it could be good for a training session and out to coaches to analyse the training session, that type of thing. So there's other avenues that you could use it, even if you don't use it for games, and just use it within your own club. So there's lots of ways it could be. You could benefit from it, I think. Yeah,
I mean, obviously, for training sessions, you've got to think: is there an audience? And the audience on the training session will be the players themselves through the athlete access.
Correct.
But what's the audience going to be for income generation is the question. And it doesn't. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter. But from the child protection point of view, the beauty is you own it, so you control it. And so, if you're not comfortable with, obviously, once it's gone into someone's home, we can't control who comes around to that person's home and what they do with it in their own homes. We can't control that. But what we can do is give you the technology to ensure that you've got a robust and safe policy or a practice that hopefully the county and the safeguarding officers will approve of, as they have done with every county that we've spoken to. So, I mean, all we can do is give you the best opportunity to be as safe as possible. But I would say, Kevin, just give it a go. Give it a try. If you want to start from your oldest teams, your most senior teams, where you perceive there's less risk, give it a try, and work with us. And Torril's got a team of experts to support it, and she can give you all the advice and stuff you need as you bang on through.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, we do also have a function where you can select if you want to make a live stream private or public. So if you make it private, you can share it only with the selected audience, for example, just the family of the players, or just the opposing team. So no one outside of this fan base will find the stream on Joymo just by searching for the club name, for example. It would only be private for those who you invite to watch.
A very good point that I forgot there.
Yeah,
and just to add on that, I mean, we've, as we said earlier, we're doing the Royal Air Force sports teams. Now, for security reasons, sometimes the RAF don't want the world to know that, Wing Commander, whoever is playing football on Lossiemouth, RAF. So they also protect, they also have it non-public as well. So, we're used to having restricted access or restricted access, private or public, you can choose. Some teams just want it out there and want as many people as possible, and but we can control it however you want to by the public or private access. Yeah.
Cheers, Kev. I've got an hand up from Damien Hamilton.
Yeah, thank you. I agree. Really good platform. Obviously, I'm with the last guy that spoke. I'm sorry I didn't get your But for me, safeguarding is the biggest thing. So we've just affiliated a new club this year in with Notts. So this is the first time that personally I've done it as secretary. But we've done all the committees, done safeguarding for committee members, and also we've got child welfare officer. Obviously, under 10s, as you can imagine, is a lot of nervous parents when it comes to filming and things.
Yeah.
So the question for me is, if we did this and then I got consent from the team that was playing with, it was okay for us to do that.
Mm-hmm.
What do I have available to show them to say that this is okay? Basically, it's the data's owned. This is safe. The only people that's going to see it basically is the parents of these children, because unless I get that out to them, it's very clear that I may not get the buy-in from the other team to say, yeah, it's okay. Some only takes one parent just to say, no, I'm not happy. Then that's it. It's over.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Toril, do you want to take
that? So in that, this automatic notification software that we have. So when you schedule a live stream, we do recommend that you do it some time in advance. You put in the email address of the opposing team, and they will receive an email with a lot of different information about Joymo, how we work and how we work for safeguarding, and also just like, is this okay? And give them time to give you a response. So they would have, like, ideally maybe a week's time. They can distribute that information to the parents with links to our website, where we have a large section on the safeguarding bit, and then have enough time to give you notice back if it's not okay.
I mean, in our ideal, Damien, what we'd have is for any league at the start of the season, hopefully the league that your team is in, hopefully with a bit of support from the county, can say, because of the official partnership, there is a possibility that these games will be filmed, will be live streamed on Joymo, and here are the safeguarding tools and the safeguarding protocols that Joymo have, which are available on the Joymo website and the documentation. So hopefully in advance of the season, we can have approval or not from teams in the league. So you'll know if you're playing X team that, they're okay with it. And it might be that some teams, it might be that you get the under 11s who are not okay with it because of one or two children, and the under 13s or the under 8 girls might be, so it's doesn't necessarily have to be a blanket that one club will have all their teams doing it because of X, Y, and Z. But, the leagues can help support that at the beginning and so we'll be aiming to collaborate with the leagues as well that you're working with, to get support so that that conversation that Toril spoke about is an easier, is not just it's not out the blue. They know about it because they'll have seen it at the beginning of the, through the league documentation and the league information.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and we as a county, we will make sure that everybody's communicated with. So if we know of clubs that have signed up to the platform, then we'll make sure that those leagues are aware and do any work support mechanisms that we can do for that. So that's not a problem. Steve from Beeston.
I've been trying hard to keep quiet, Mark. Sorry. Just a quick one in terms of the safeguarding stuff and stuff like that. As I understand it, the county FA and there's certain bans on what you can and can't advertise on players' shirts, like you can't have pubs and gambling on youth teams. Will that same apply to the adverts you can put at the front of these live streams? So if you're streaming an under 11s game, for example, you can't put a pub or a gambling firm or something on the front of it. Yeah.
I mean, we'll be guided by the county on that one, yeah. So if Mark says to us that's what he wants in the county, we won't, we're not going to put Rothmans on your under 14s.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, 100%. FA regs will translate. Well, we'll interpret them to be on this platform as well. So exactly the same as what on shirts and kit sponsors will have to be the same deal on this.
Nice one. Thanks, Mark.
Cheers, Steve. Thanks very much. Is there any other questions from anybody else?
Any practical kind of practical type questions? We get that safeguarding is the big issue, and of course it's rightly so that there'll be the most questions around that. But from a tech point of view, all you need is any mobile phone is good. The newer the mobile phone, the better. If you've got an iPhone 12 or a Samsung S21 or whatever, they're fantastic. But my Samsung S10 I've had for like 3 years is perfectly good. we had guys doing this over the weekend on a Nokia something or other, and it looks still good. So you don't need the absolute fancy thing. All you need to have is a charged phone, possible with a tripod, maybe a battery pack just in case, and you're good to go. And there's nothing better than as a player than having all of your performances that you can go back and see that goal or see that save or see that tackle or whatever. It's the new. The players of the future will be able to catalogue their stuff, and so, as Mark sits in 10 years' time and he's then CEO of the county and he's viewing his empire, he'll be able to have a catalogue of all the teams and all their goals and everything will be online by then. So it's the way it's going. It's just a case of all we're doing, all we're trying to do is do it in a safe and secure way, giving you the team's ownership and control of the data, which is the really important thing, because it's what will happen is the market will fragment and you'll lose the ability to maximize the opportunity. So in a few years' time there'll be loads and loads of people with different opportunities to do this. But what this is giving you, because of the deal that the county have done, is the opportunity to control it and bring some income in and catalogue your games. It's genuinely good.
I've got another question, Neil, from Danny Rose.
Yeah.
This one's mainly for you, Mark. Do you know, regarding the practicality of it, do you know how obviously you get teams that want to dispute red cards and things like that? Can this footage be used for the FA for that reason? Because that's what we always get asked.
We'll have players, I can see it now, going along the touchline to the screens, won't we? My gosh. Danny, yes, because if you it will be the same as any other footage. So I'm just thinking of the Teversals, the Eastwoods, etc. that are on the call that will be used to filming their games. They might not stream the game, but they own the content of that filming. So where there is a disputed red card or a mass confrontation or something else that happens, they present that as evidence to the disciplinary panel. So this would be the same because you own the footage. So
it's absolutely, and it's Danny, it's a really good point actually. A few years ago I was involved with an incident where a referee got assaulted, unfortunately, and it was the appeal at the county was around he said, she said, and it was all word of mouth, and no one had any footage of this referee being struck. Had the game been Joymo, you'd have seen the bloke clever and lamped the ref, and that would have saved a lot of committee time, county FA time, hearings, all the rest of it. It was, in the end, the bloke got signed die and was banned, rightly so. But it's that kind of thing it is useful for. It's not what we intend it for, but there are other benefits of Joymo in your games to doing that as well.
Yeah, and the referees can also. Sorry.
Yeah, it just helps the referees and makes their job a lot easier as
well.
When it comes to things like that kick off. Because let's be fair, Sunday morning, when Adults League, you're always going to get handbags no matter what. It's part and parcel of the Sunday morning game.
Yeah, the referees can also use it to develop, to look at their own performance after the games as well. I mean, they're not maybe getting the most attention in the counties and the leagues. So it's a nice feature for them as well to be able to look back on. So
the referee's assessor that used to come and hide behind the tree when I was being assessed when I was going for me refereeing promotions, we don't need that anymore. The referee's assessor can just say Joymo the game, and they can sit in there and watch the games there. Don't need the referee's assessor to hide behind the tree and not introduce himself anymore. It's fine.
And we are gonna use, as Neil hinted at, we're using the platform for our county cups to try to broaden the horizons of people watching the county cups, the engagement, and off the back of that, the games are being shared with the match officials, so it will be part of a development tour as well. So we've already thought that behind the back scenes, really, in terms of making sure that we use it in the best possible way. So Danny, it might work for you. I don't know the club, and I don't know what you like on a Sunday morning. So it might work for you, it might work against you, who knows. Cheers, Danny. Thanks for raising that. Kev, you've got your hand up again.
Yes, pal. Sorry about that. all it is for me is just thinking. There's a lot of clubs within Nottinghamshire that's got a lot of teams.
Yeah.
And when you look at the professional one, that still may not cover all the requirements.
No.
So would they be better potentially looking at maybe sections of the club? So like five-a-side, obviously the 7s and 8s, which is five-a-side formation, 7v7 formation, etc., going through 9v9, 11v11, and then seniors actually having independent packages.
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
beauty of the offer is it's all free anyway for this season. So you might as well give every team in the club their own channel to start with. I mean, if you want to have one channel and split it up, you can, Kev, however you want it. But the beauty is you can chop and change and see what works for the teams. You know, we've got some teams.
I was just trying to work it all out potentially. Yeah. The size of what we need, you could be looking at some clubs potentially needing 2 pro packages to cover all their teams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
instead of the hassle of breaking the cost down per team, then let each team pay for their own on an individual basis would work, and then they'll have their own control as well.
Yeah, and that might be better. And if it is only £12.99 a month, it only needs, if you've got, let's imagine you've got 4 games a month, and each game gets only 10 viewers, you're already well into profit. From your views, and you don't notice your £12.99 that's coming out. You know, if it was coming out, has gone over that. So, given that you're not even having to come out anyway, you're into, you know. So I'm talking about after a year, and you then start paying for it. It's into profit anyway. So it's all profit basically. But yeah, we'll bespoke we can talk about the individuals of your particular club and just do a bespoke package for you, Kev. If you tell us you've got 27 teams and they all play on different days.
No, we've not got that.
Well, you know,
what I am thinking is it possible to have usage of these slides and then potentially put that to the teams and then let them deal with it individually from there? I think it would be a good move for us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But
and if each of the teams want to ask any questions, you know, they can come on to me or Torrell again, and we'll address the same issues with any teams in a big club, Kev. So yeah, whatever works.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Kev. That was nicely rounded off, to be fair, Kev. Well done. So take it forward, Neil and Torrell. If our clubs drop you a line, or obviously we're recording this, we'll circulate this to all of our clubs anyway, so that they can watch back and check it back. Clubs are more than happy to drop me an email, and then I can send that on. So just so that we know what that engagement's like, and then that would be brilliant. Obviously, from you guys, you're going to feed us that information back in terms of who signs up from.
Yeah, of course. Well, we're having regular review meetings anyway, aren't we, Mark? So we're going to be reviewing on a regular basis. But yeah, you can either Torrell at Joymo.tv or Neil at Joymo.tv, and you'll get us. Or you just go to the Joymo TV website, and you'll see all the contact details there as well, with some nice under the who's who section. So
brilliant. We'll get the slide deck sent out as soon as we've got it, so we can get this out this week for you. Brilliant. All right. If there's no other questions, guys, thanks very much, Torrell, Neil. Thanks very much for your time this evening.
Thank you very much.
Great platform. We're looking forward to using it for our county cups for this year. I think it's going to raise the profile, and we've got some good ideas about getting some engagement. So we're really great to have you on board. So excellent.
Great stuff. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, everyone. Look forward to seeing some action from Nottinghamshire.
Good work. All right. Thanks very much, guys. Cheers. Thanks. Okay, so I just share my screen with regards to the rest of the forum. Thanks very much for listening to that, guys. Really appreciate it. Hopefully that it's a package that you might dip into. So obviously it's not for everybody, but for some of the clubs that are on the call, I can see how you could most definitely link in and use it quite effectively. So in terms of County FA updates, we've got Julie Mitchell as on the line. She'll obviously jump in and answer anything player registration wise and some of the football services side of things. And also Rachel, our safeguarding officer, is on. So we'll run through some of the kind of brief updates that the staff have sent in to us. And then if there's anything specific, for football services, we can ask it at the end of the football services section, and the same with football development, and then the safeguarding. So most of you, I think today should have had. I know the leagues have received this last week in terms of the return to play. Obviously, we are now into what is, I suppose, Freedom Day, and all that, most of the restrictions being lifted. But in terms of football, the kind of responsibility or the message that we've been receiving from the FA is that the responsibility is still heavily down to the clubs, particularly those that have their own facilities, to make sure you agree your best way forward, and that you'll make your facilities safe as possible. For those that are using parks, pitches, and other community-based pitches, you will have seen from the guidance that all the changing rooms, everything else is now open, or can be open. You may, I'll put a caveat on all of these kind of points, is that you may need to speak to the authority that you use and you play within, just to double check what their criteria are. But in principle, everything is back open. The guidance is now on our website. You'd have received an email this morning from me with a PDF copy. Please take your time to have a read through, just to double check the content of it all, and what the kind of implications are for all of you, really, in terms of if you own your site, if you hire your site. All right, so please have a look on there. In terms of affiliation, I've been asked as a reminder that if you haven't, and I presume that most of the clubs on the call, because you're on the call already, have put in your affiliation. If you haven't, please make sure that goes in as a matter of urgency, so the services team can try to get on top of that side of things. If you are still pending, or there is an action that is dated for our side of things, I've just been asked to kind of relay a message in terms of being a little bit patient in terms of the staff managing that. At the moment, there is really only Matt and Julie dealing with club affiliations, and obviously it's our busiest time, so they're both snowed under. And Julie will mention about player reg, I'm sure, in just a while, and how long that's taking. So if you can be patient, that'll be great. If you can just make sure that you can ease the process by making sure your side of things are done, insurances, all the paperwork, well, it's not paperwork, but everything on the whole game system is all up to date, that'll be fantastic. In terms of discipline, just 2 points for us in terms of discipline that Ezekiel's passed on for us. One thing that's been a bit of a common theme is regarding players that are currently suspended, and then you need their suspensions lifting, and the game's not being entered into whole game system. So if you can please make sure that where you know the players are facing suspensions or currently have suspensions, make sure that you input the right information in terms of league games, or if there were friendly games from the previous season, make sure that they're inputted in terms of that, so that that player can be lifted. Because no doubt come August, come September, you're going to want your full squads in play. And rather than, he's made a request, is if you have any discipline issues, unless he's dealing with you on a specific case and it's direct to him, if there is anything that's generic that's coming in that then requires action at some point, if they can come in on the generic discipline at nottinghamshirefa.com email address, that will just help the flow of administration at the moment. So if you can help Ezekiel with that, bearing in mind that, like I said, Ezekiel is the only person dealing with discipline at the moment, so he's just kind of making sure that he can manage his time accordingly. The final point with football services, unless I'm cueing Julie to maybe jump in with player reg as well, if she wants to jump in a second. But county cups, all the clubs would have received the entries or the expression of interest for the county cups for the new season. I really appreciate everybody that returned those expressions of interest. You've all had some further communication in terms of your entry and confirmations. The response has been really positive, to be fair. We appreciate that fixture programs across the county are extremely can be stretched at the best of times, and with us not really knowing if we'll have any other restrictions in the winter. We appreciate you jumping on board and committing to the county cups. Myself and Matt at the moment are going through those entries, and we're going to pull together the playing program hopefully on Wednesday, so that we have this out to everybody by the end of the week in terms of the Senior Cup, the Trophy, the Sunday, and the Women's, in terms of those confirmed entries. To give you just a couple of headlines, really, in terms of the Women's, Nottingham Forest ladies are taking part in the Women's. And in terms of the Senior Cup, we've got provisional agreement on Forest, County and Mansfield taking part in the Senior Cup. So those clubs that play in the National League system that are on the call, I think you might be rubbing your hands together with a prospect of playing one of the three pro clubs at some point of the season. On TV, on live stream, as much as you'll get obviously the gate on the day as well. So really positive, and Notch TV are jumping on board again with the county cups to give them a bit of profile. So once again, thanks for your entries, and we'll confirm everything towards the back end of this week in terms of formats and playing cycles. Julie, hopefully you're there and not in a hot tub or something else.
No, I've been in my hot tub to have a bath because I've no water.
Brilliant. Is there anything player registration wise, just as an update? I know you're being bombarded with it at the moment.
Yeah, extremely busy. If anybody sent an email today, they would have got out of office. That is basically because I've tried to leave a message on there to let you know that it's an overwhelming demand at the moment. And just to be patient, I am working my way through them. Just while we've been on this call, I've gone from 69 emails to 49. So I'm doing quite well, but just basically stick with it. A lot of clubs are struggling to add parents. Parents are creating 4 or 5 fans, and it's just clogging the system up, really. So it's just email in your problem, and just basically just bear with me. I will get to them. If I find that it's something really, quite a few things wrong, I will send you an email sort of asking when would be the best time to give you a call to go through them. I've just done this afternoon, Debs from Eastwood. I've gone through quite a few with Debs today, and I've also sent an email tonight to, I think it's Sam. Can't remember which club it is. I can't remember my own date of birth at the moment. But yeah, just basically trying to resolve a few issues if I see them. So please just bear with me. If anybody's got any major problems now, I can try and alleviate that problem. Dave?
Cheers, Julie. I know you've got to be busy because I'm busy registering them, approving. Now I'm getting what I'm getting when I go to approve. I open the picture. Now I would have refused the photo prior, but because of old game cutting it down to the little small, like the small picture that it does, I don't know if they're 7 or 17. Some of these players, right? And I'm getting quite a few when you click onto the picture. The four green boxes come up, which states consent, ID, and all this. Now I'm getting quite a few that says verify ID that's not in green. So I'm rejecting them and telling them they need to verify the ID because it's not in green. So if anybody's listening and you're getting the rejection because of that, that's the only reason it's not lit up in green, and they need all 4 to be in green. I don't understand how it's got through without it, to be truthful.
No, I don't. I think the system has been fighting with itself, because what would normally happen is all player registration would be released, all players released end of June. Sorry, end of May.
And yeah.
end of May. In June, the system would then be set to start resetting itself for the next following season. What's happened this season, because of the predicament we're all in, player registration didn't finish until the last day in June. Now, the 1st of July, the system was set to reset itself, plus the portals was open for the leagues to start affiliating, and people were trying to register players. So the system's literally been fighting with itself, and a lot of player registrations have actually got stuck in the system. It's got bad encryption on it, and I've had to go in and re-push it back through again. So it is partly the system's fault, causing registrations to get stuck in the system.
Yeah, what it was, I just didn't want to approve a player where the ID had not been verified. Obviously, if the photo's not there, I just reject it.
Yeah.
Because there's some that's coming with no photos and the likes and stuff like that. But because it's ID, I know it's not going to come through without consent, because the system will stop that. But it's mainly ID. So I'm rejecting it. I'm sorry if I'm going to cause any trouble. But if you've not verified the date of the person, then I don't see why I can approve it.
Can I just sort of stipulate there as well? Verifying the ID is actually looking at that person's legal ID, whether it's birth certificate, driving license, passport, and physically looking at the name, the way it's spelled, and also how it's spelled on whole game system. If it's not the same, then you need to let me know so it can be put correct. I've used this quite a few times as sort of like a way of showing people. Matthew Smith can actually create quite a few fans, because he might be called Matty to his mates. So his coach gives the name Matty Smith. That's one registration. His actual legal documentation is Matthew Smith with 2 T's. Somebody might register him with Matthew Smith with 1 T, and somebody else could register him as Matt with 2 T's, just Matt Smith, and somebody else could register him with Matt Smith with 1 T. That is 5 fans just through not looking at their ID, and that's what you're supposed to be confirming.
Yeah. And that's all I'm saying. I didn't know if I was doing right for wrong, but I just thought I'm not having a 17-year-old playing in a 15-year-old league. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you do right, Dave. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Dave. Kev, you got your hands raised?
Yeah, just a question for Julie, really. Obviously, with the National League system clubs starting playing a week on Saturday, and then also the regional feeder league starting on the 7th of August, not wanting to jump the queue or anything, but if we have got any registration issues, is there a way that we can flag this up that will help Julie to identify solely for that level of teams?
Yeah, well, I can answer both for Julie and Matt. So where there's an affiliation delay or processing delay, I suppose, on our end, the instruction has been at the moment to ensure that everybody, all the leagues and all the clubs that are starting in August, so National League system and regional feeder leagues, that they are treated as a priority at the moment. So they should sail through, and that should also apply for Julie as well. So where those clubs are in absolute urgent need, then yeah, they'll be prioritised. Julie, I answered that one for you. I know that I've been lazy with Matt to make sure that everything on that side, so the right levels of football are prioritised as we go through.
Yeah, I would put on your initial email urgent and what level you are when you start. Urgent, league starts, give a date. That will be the heading of that email, and I can pick it out. Rather than it just be coming in as a normal email, if you make the header urgent, what league and day you start.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Cheers, Kev. if we save some of the other, if there's any other player reg, we'll save it to the end, Julie. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So some football development. I think I've only got one football development update. If that's still showing on, I think. Scroll through them quickly. So those clubs that are part of the England Football Accreditation, so Charter Standard, we are hoping that this week is the launch of the pathways and all the criteria on England Football, englandfootball.com. So which is the new website that the FA are launching to keep all of kind of most of the football projects, and obviously try to lose their the not so efficient fa.com branding. But so everything's going to go on there this week, we've been assured. So there'll be an accreditation brochure for those clubs that are looking to get Charter Standard. They'll be able to download that and apply online. You will also all should be receiving a newsletter regarding your transitions from whether you're a 1-star, 2-star or a 3-star club for this season, and all the supporting logos and promotional stuff ready in time for the launch of this new season. So that should be on the way to. We've been assured that that's the kind of timescales. And then from next week onwards, then there'll be the physical packs will be sent to accredited leagues and clubs. The content of that at the moment, I'm not fully aware of what that looks like. But they've been physical packs are being sent out, so hopefully you will receive them over the summer. But as with everything with the FA, please allow another month, maybe even 6 months for it to be relayed back to you. But no, I think with this they're on top of it. Where there is any new clubs, so anybody that is wanting to apply, they can do so once everything is live, and we'll support them through the process. All right. Sorry, I just had to move my daughter from invading the call. So that's in terms of football, in terms of mainstream football development. The other things we need to make sure that you're up to speed with, if you're not already aware, then these should be going on our website ASAP. Really, there's 3 referees courses that are running. Joe Witt starts next week. Then we have 2 back-to-back at NTU at Clifton campus, and all still have places on them. Okay, and to save down some of the kind of administration task in terms of getting people booked on courses, you'll be able to go onto our website and you'll be able to book directly onto the course, and then the pre-course learning and everything else will all be attached at a later point. But you'll be able to book your parents, your players, you'll be able to book onto a course direct, and we'll follow everything up. But please, again, we'll circulate these slides after the meeting. But if you could promote the referees courses, that'll be great, because as you all know, we're a little bit short of referees at this moment in time. Any questions on the football development sections or the referee courses? Yes, Steve.
Hi, Mark. Just to note, 2 of those 3 referees courses are on weekdays. Is there any plans to put any more on at weekends to allow people that work during the week to do them?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've had to postpone one because of isolation issues. There's one running this week that runs on the Sunday, and the idea is basically that we were getting 5 courses back to back to get a stock through, really. And then the idea is that they'll go monthly, but they'll go on a weekend. So they'll roughly go, one will be a Saturday, the other one will be a Sunday, so it doesn't kind of impinge. And then obviously school holidays, like we used to, will be hit during the week.
Nice one, thanks.
Any other questions on those 2 points? Excellent, thanks very much. So Rachel, I know you're in the background.
I'm here.
Good work. So do you want to just touch on that and then some of the points?
Yeah, so I'm aware really from, well, season just gone and the one before, because of COVID, we've got some newly qualified club welfare officers that either went on a face-to-face course but then went straight into lockdown, or we're now getting quite a few club welfare officers who are being trained through the virtual 2-hour training session on Teams. So on the 15th of August, I'll be hosting a face-to-face training session for new club welfare officers. But this is, for me, it's extended back to anyone really who qualified from 2019-20 and onwards. And I think I've all heard on the call tonight, we've got a new club. So again, I've sent out emails. Not everybody is on my email list, mailing list for new club welfare officers, because if they haven't got in touch with me, then I don't know they're a new welfare officer. So if you are a new club, or you are aware you might have an assistant club welfare officer who's joined, can you please pass this on and put them in touch with me? Obviously, my details are on the website, the Notts FA website. If there are places spare, then existing club welfare officers are more than welcome to come along. There will be an input on there regarding risk assessments. Clearly, we've all gone through the COVID trauma, and still we will be. And there's a bit of an issue for me around risk assessments, and perhaps some clubs perhaps better than others, but I would like some consistency really. So, and I'll be looking then for the next face-to-face training session to be just before Christmas, or hopefully face-to-face. And then I am going to nag now. We've had a really horrible, I did forewarn Mark that I would do this, a really horrible case this weekend, where again we've had abuse of a young referee. Usually it's a spectator, but this time it was coaches and managers. It's just not going to happen. It's absolutely horrendous, and I really expect clubs, regardless of whether Ezekiel takes discipline action, from a safeguarding point of view, I'll be going to clubs now separately and saying, what are you doing? What action are you taking against that coach or manager that's just verbally abused and tried to intimidate a young referee? Okay, so it's just absolutely horrendous, and there's no place for it in children's football. So that's something that I will absolutely be taking up when the season really kicks off in September. This young referee 3 times spoke to the coaches and managers. They still continued to do it. Reduced a young girl in tears at a tournament, at a summer tournament. It's absolutely ridiculous. So if these are coaches and managers that are reducing children to tears on the pitch, then I have to question, what are they doing in football? So regardless if they get a slap on the wrist by discipline, then I'll be taking quite a harsh point of view, thinking that that particular club that manager is associated with doesn't take safeguarding seriously. So I keep saying it, I'll keep saying it, but we need to address it. That's me. I'll shut up now, Mark.
You bang on, Rach. I think everybody on the call will completely agree that abusing referees anyway is not the right way, and particularly young referees. And there's no excuse over summer festivals at all. So we're well aware of a situation a couple of years back where that was brought to the fore, to be fair, at summer festivals. So please, if you've got anything of that if you're attending festivals or you see anything, these issues, please make sure you raise them to the county, let them make sure they get reported, and obviously put them on Rachel's radar. She's as she's mentioned there, she's all over it. So thanks very much. I will open the floor to any questions that you may have. So it could be obviously anything that we've spoken about. It could be about the Joymo or any concerns that you've got running at the moment. Damien.
Right, this one's linked to balls, believe it or not. We're an under-10 team, obviously coming into the season this year. But on the FA site, it's saying size 4, but then on Yell's site, it's saying size 3. We've already purchased size 4, but now we don't know where we sit. So I've got a meeting with Yell also on Thursday. I will ask exactly the same question, just to make sure I'm getting the same information. But 2 different places, 2 different sizes, and I believe it changed to 3 because of a heading rule, is where I'm sat at the minute, led to believe.
Yes, I think Was it the FA.com or was it our website? Where
I
the
believe it FA.com. I'm not sure.
Right,
It's
okay.
one of the two. It's either Notts FA or FA.com. I'm not sure, but it just says 4 on there for under 10s. Then you go on Yells and it's saying 3. So at the minute, I just don't know where I am.
We'll make sure.
Ball size wise.
We'll make sure that the update. Unless anybody else, I believe it's size 3 because it all changed.
Yeah, the heading
going
ball.
up. Yeah, changed the season or so ago. But we'll make sure. What I'll do, Damien, I'll make sure we'll get some information sent out as an update. Is that all right?
Thank you. Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you. And just as you said with the safeguarding, so we are a new club. Deborah's our child welfare officer who's done all our items. I will confirm if she's actually spoke to yourself. If she hasn't, then I'll obviously forward those details on to you. So thank you for the safeguarding stuff.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Yeah, apart from Julie, who's obviously working about 26 hours a day at the moment, what are the rest of the FA back to normal working hours after COVID, Mark?
Yes. I don't know what normal working hours are at the moment. But yeah. So everybody's back. Everybody's back in full time. We're all in the office on a Wednesday. So if there is ever any trouble in contacting us during the week, there shouldn't be any issues in contacting any member of staff. There obviously may be a delay of a day or so in terms of coming back to emails. But obviously that's just natural course. But on a Wednesday, everybody's in the office. Julie and Rachel will support us on this. If anybody calls, any of you members from your club call, if they call our mobile, please make sure that they leave a message, because obviously not everybody's. Steve, I've got your number on speed dial. I've got Kev's on speed dial.
I don't know how to take that.
So the people that we relate with on a regular basis, we'll probably have them in our phones, but not all the members of staff will. So please leave a message or drop a text. Just say, hi, it's Steve from Beeston. Please, can you give us a call back? And the guys will give you a call. I think there has been situations where people have just called, ringed out, and then there's no message left back, so it's a bit difficult in terms of who to call. But everybody is back full time. Obviously Leanne finishes in a couple of weeks for maternity leave, but then other than that, we're all fully staffed at the moment.
Nice one, thanks.
All right, cheers, Steve. Dave. Just unmute yourself, Dave.
Right, sorry about that.
No worries.
I've had a look on Scory for you. And according to the Scory, the size 3 football is from under 6 right up to under 9s, but then it goes to, hang on, size 3 goes right up to 7B7 under 10s. You change to a 4 on a 9v9 at under 11s.
Yeah, that's the information I've got. Yeah, it was just a bit conflicting from one side to another. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll check our website to make sure as well. I'll look at that in the morning to make sure that.
I say that's through Scoring, Mark.
Yeah, brilliant. Cheers, Dave.
Okay.
That's
worries.
great. Thanks so much. Kev?
Just a quick one on the public liability insurance through Bluefin. I don't know about any other clubs, but we get asked regularly for a copy of the certificate of insurance for when we let in facilities. And you can get it by going through all the links on the actual websites, through the Notts FA website. But it would be advantageous if that document was a quick one link touch.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we can have a look at that, or we can probably circulate it to all the member clubs as well. In all fairness, if everybody gets it from the same place, that's fine. So
there's just certain venues do request it when you're making a letting there.
Yeah,
especially schools. Thank you.
No worries. Thanks, Kev. I made a note of that. Brilliant. Any other questions? There's not. Well, I'll close the session. As always, thanks very much for your hard work and your time. I hope that you'll get a little bit of a summer break at some point over the next couple of weeks. Now school holidays are fast approaching. Enjoy the sunshine. We will run the next club forum. It will be in September. So we will have a look at the format in terms of the information that we've got there and how that works. But obviously we'll drop that over to you in due course. Again, thanks very much for your time. If there's any issues in the meantime, please feel free to contact the staff. Myself, Julie, and Rachel will stay on the call for a little while to answer anything else that you want. But I'll close the recording by saying thanks.